Hello, beautiful, benevolent beings. It is your girl, Danajhadavis. We are here today. Today, we are going to just jump right into it, and we are going to be speaking about divine love. I thought, what better way than to bring in this new moon in Libra, as well as Libra season, than to talk about love. You know, we all want it. We all feel it. Okay. So let's speak about what is divine love. Let's define it. So divine love is the love not that you think you want, it is the love that you actually deserve. Now, I want to speak about divine love today because a lot of us think that we deserve one type of love, but then in reality, we end up with a different type of love. And that can simply be, for example, for blah, 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 Mercury retrograde, okay? And that can simply be, for example, from when we are young, we dream of having that fairy tale wedding. We dream of having that big house with that huge garden and all that land. And in reality, we are 28 years old. We're starting to see all of our friends and family start to tie the knot. We've been dealing with old Tyrone and Charles, and we even dated someone outside of our culture to get us out of our comfort zone, and that didn't go well. And it's like a lot of the times we keep dating the same people with different faces, and that actually has to do with the fact that we are not as open to the love that we deserve. We are not as open to that love that God and our guides and our higher self agreed in this lifetime. If you can do A, B, C, and D, you will be rewarded with your divine love. Now, of course, it is never as linear as, okay, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D, and then boom. There is a lot of things that happen. Fate, there's our own free will. But I'm here today to give you a bit more tools that can allow you to draw in your divine love. Okay. I need a sip of tea because I just got into it and we only 2 minutes in, okay? I don't even know where I'm going, but I'm here and we're gonna make it happen. So it is actually no shock that a lot of us are operating either from our divine masculine and or from our wounded divine feminine. Now, of course, we live in a man's world, you know, not saying that that's my reality. My reality is that this is a wild woman's world, okay? But society, they like to teach us, they like to show us that this is a man's world. So it really is no shocker at all that a lot of us have shut down organically our natural responses to feel love, and that is all the divine feminine. One powerful way that we can tap into the love that we deserve is really by honoring, nurturing, and healing our divine feminine essence. Now, I want to remind each and every one of you watching that the divine feminine is simply energy. You don't have to have a womb. You don't have to identify as a woman. You can identify as whatever you want to. That is the beauty of the divine feminine. She lives in each and every one of us. And there are some of us, of course, who we look at as being the nurturer, as being the mother, as being the caretaker. And that is simply because they exude divine feminine energy. Think of the divine feminine as the empress in tarot. The empress, the divine feminine, the goddess, the queen, doesn't have to do much to receive what she deserves. All she has to do is take care of her vessel, take care of her body, take care of her energy, and she is always provided. A lot of us, I believe, when we get into unions with others, we don't allow ourselves to be taken care of. We are so focused on what the other person needs. We are so focused on the goal of the relationship, whether it's, I want this to be one and done. This is going to be the person that I want to go down the aisle with, or like, I'm so worried about him and helping him thrive. And it's like, no, you need to make sure that you are thriving. You need to make sure that you are top priority. You are the prize, okay? I'm gonna say it one more time. You watching, you are the prize. You're the prize. And I promise you, when you start to get to know your divine feminine, when you really start to work through that sacral chakra energy, a lot of things are going to happen. First off, you're going to realize 9 times out of 10, the reason why you have an issue with receiving, the reason why you have an issue with expressing your emotions, the reason why you have an issue with receiving your divine love has a lot to do with your childhood. And it has a lot to do with the lessons, the blessings, and the traumas that are attached to your childhood. And so naturally what will start to happen is that you will find that you'll be in a state of remothering yourself, of reparenting yourself as you dive down the rabbit hole of your sacral chakra. Now I could speak more about the sacral chakra in another video, because that energy and diving down that rabbit hole, I kid you not, has me where I am today. And that is all that I'm gonna say. So yes, step 1 is really getting to know that divine feminine. It is really getting to unblock that sacral energy. Another way is to take a moment and dive into your relationship history. Now I know some of us, when we're done with, you know, the people that we're not gonna even name in this moment, we're not, okay? We're not. It's just like one and done. But see, that is the issue. That is the issue. That is operating from a space of, okay, moving on. When in reality, the mother, the divine feminine, she takes moments to go into retreat, to be still, to invite an introspection. That's the way that she could recharge. That's the way that she could come back full, ready to give, ready to receive. So definitely take a deep dive down your relationship history and just start to ask yourself, you know, what worked in my last relationship? What didn't work? What worked in my last relationship before that? What didn't work? As you start to journal and write everything down, you'll start to see this parallel between every single person that you have dealt with. Now, it doesn't matter if you dealt with them in a super serious committed relationship. It doesn't matter if you dealt with them casually for a couple of months. It doesn't matter if you only went out on a couple of dates. I say sit down and don't think about it in an earthly way of, oh, we weren't even in a relationship, or I wasn't taking him serious. Well, you attracted him and y'all shared that moment for a reason. And I guarantee you that even if it was brief, what you shared with that person and what you shared with your last serious partner, that there are some parallels. So don't judge yourself. Just allow yourself to channel it out and see what comes up. See what comes up. Because looking at your relationship history is one way to see, like, okay, so what are the patterns? Okay, so what do I want next time? Like I said, a lot of us operate from this autopilot of just like, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And it's nothing wrong with being a romantic. It's nothing wrong with loving your relationships. I am a romantic. I love relationships. I am not in a relationship right now. And that is just simply because I am doing the work. I am living and thriving and pulsing through my divine feminine. And she knows, we know that, like, we've been doing too much work to just let anyone in. And that is the goal. The goal, no matter where you are in your journey, is to get to the point where it's like you have such a thick shield around you that, yeah, the more that you get in touch with your divine feminine, the more that you express yourself from your sacral chakra, the more that you're willing to give and actually receive, you are going to be so effing magnetic. Like, I cannot lie. There are so many people when I'm just walking down the street, when I step into an event, that I feel them. Like, it's not like I'm looking to see like, oh, who's checked. Like, I feel their gaze, but it's like my guides and my divine feminine, like, heads, my goddesses that protect me and walk with me, they have such a strong shield around me that it's like, if it's not meant to be, it will literally ricochet off of my shield. Like, their energy, like, they can't even come to me. And that is the goal. You want your energy to be so potent that it's like you are ready to receive that divine love. You're saying more no's than you're saying yes. You're saying thank you, next. Thank you, next. Thank you. Next. Another thing that you could do, especially for my woman, my wild women who are watching right now that bleed every single month, that have a womb and all of that that's attached to the womb, a birthing canal. One thing that you can do that can really, really help you to say hell yes to your divine love is to create a more sensual and intimate relationship with your body. Now that can look so different for so many people. That could mean simply buying lingerie for the sake of. That could mean slow dancing to some nice music that makes you feel sexy. Yoni steaming. That could be yoni egg yoga. That can be, I mean, the list is endless and endless and endless. But the reason why you want to create a safe space in your temple, in your vessel, is because that's another way that you will just start to exude that energy. You know, a lot of us also, when we get into relationships, we end up being so numb due to our past traumas and our past relationships that when it's time to share our bodies, when it's time to actually receive pleasure, we have an issue tapping into that. For example, something like yoni steaming is a way that we can literally set the intention prior to our steam and just feel and see all of the toxins, all of the chaos, all of the drama, all the hardships from all of our last relationships leave our vessels. If you identify as a man and you're watching this, you can do steaming as well. It will definitely affect your body different, but you can. And if you are watching this right now and you happen to identify as a man and you are in a committed partnership, honor your queen. Honor your partner, honor your divine counterpart. Be a guide to them as they are yoni steaming. Be there with them. That is actually something that I want to get into in the future, is partner yoni steaming. As a partnership, how you can do it together, how your partner can support you through your steaming. Last but not least, how to say yes to your divine love. Know what you want, ladies and gents. Know what you want. Actually down to a mathematical equation. Like, if you know by this age you want to be married with kids, you better write down what you want out of that husband of yours or that wife of yours or whoever of yours. You better write down where you want to live. You better write down where you want to go on dates. You better write down where you want your honeymoon to be. You better write it down. Get to know it. You know, and don't put pressure on yourself. If you're someone here where you feel like you're at the beginning stages, it may take you a while to really just listen, heal, shed through that sacral chakra space before you can even start to wake up and realize, what do I want? What do I need? What does my heart space need to feel safe, seen, and loved in a union? So definitely be gentle and kind with yourself, but when you feel ready, be as specific as possible. If you want to create a vision board all dedicated to your divine love, do it. Cut out pictures of who you want to be. If he's tall, dark, and handsome, you better find Idris Elba. You better find Morris Chestnut. You better put him up there. You better do whatever it is you have to do to call in that divine love, okay? Always keep your integrity right here, okay? So when I say do anything, y'all know what I mean. But yes, you better figure out how to get specific. I actually, on 555, wrote up here, I will get it so y'all can see. I wrote what I want in my next union, and I kid you not, despite me not being in that union at the moment, I'm getting closer. Knowing what it is that you want is going to help you to have that divine focus where it's like I said, not saying that you can't entertain, you know, someone buying you a drink, for example, or someone giving you a compliment doesn't mean have a cold heart to that. Like, oh, well, you're not my divine masculine, you're not my divine counterpart, or you ain't my divine love. It is more so being open, because everything that I've said thus far will allow your heart space to be open to receive. But it's also just having that judgment in the back of your mind and really having that worth written all across your being, where it's like, I'm worth everything, okay? And if this situation is not cutting it, I have to go. So yes, y'all, I really, really, really pray that each and every one of us, no matter where we are with love, I know there are some of us that can't stand the thought of it. I know there are others of us watching that it just creates such a beautiful feeling in our bodies. I pray that you, and you know, if you're in a relationship, you and your lover, if you are single and that is what you are seeking, that you can take a moment to dive deeper into your divine feminine energy and your essence and really honor her in this Libra season. She is here to add a bit more spice, a bit more flavor, a bit more glitter, all up in your relationships this Libra season. Okay, guys, thank you guys so much, and I look forward to hearing from y'all soon. I look forward to seeing y'all soon. Bye.